Hey, this is Steve Good.
And Yuri Cataldo.
Back once again on the Coin Chat to cut through the tricks and trades of cryptocurrency to tell you what really matters on our Halloween special episode with our special guest, Kaimin Hu from Bitmart, COO. Kaimin, welcome to the show. Really, really happy to have you.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Yuri. Hi, everybody. Nice to meet you all.
Yeah,
So
today we really wanted to get into kind of the nuts and bolts of tricks and trades because, as of course you know, it's very important to help all of our listeners understand what's happening in the world of the crypto exchanges. It's a whole space we've really never talked about on the show. So
certainly,
yeah, we just wanted to get some ideas as to what's happening in the crypto world. However, before we do that, I've got something special I'm going to share with everybody. Which, of course, Kaimin, thank you for sharing this with us. I'm going to share my screen.
Our pleasure.
We are going to do something that's come from, because it's Halloween, I have to say this, Yuri, I apologize right now, and to all our listeners, I apologize. But we have something from all the Bitmartyrs, because it's Halloween, so we've got the top 10 Bitmartyrs who have created their own trick-or-trade charts, and we're going to share those charts with everybody now so we can have a quick look, and basically we're going to have a quick vote on which one we think is the best. We're not going to vote on them now, but we're going to show them to you now. And Yuri and Kaimin, of course, I'd love your comments on these 10 charts that people have created. So, anything you want to say about this, please.
Wait, are we judging them based on artistic merit or creativity?
we didn't define the criteria, and I don't think
it's okay. The way you
remember, they are Bitmartyrs on Halloween, so we've got to leave it as it is. So the best martyr, I guess, would be the best way of voting. We won't vote now. I just wanted to show them all to everybody now. We can have a look.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
This is the first one. Happy Halloween, Bitmart, with kind of a chart hiding there someplace. Oh, there are the charts in there.
There is. I see no charts. Oh, okay. It's hidden in the
chart.
back.
It's hidden. They're hidden very well. Here's our next one with a, I don't know what this creature is, but it's very scary.
It's scary Pac-Man, basically.
Scary Pac-Man.
I like it.
We've got hidden chart.
I guess.
Scary Pac-Man, followed by Make Halloween Great Again, which
wow.
Okay, that's
a really
by
fantastic.
Our next one, Trick or Trade. Hey, there you go. They already understand what's going on here. So this is a great Bitmartyr from what I see. Amazing diagram.
Yeah.
With someone who's definitely into death.
Yeah, basically cut all those green bars.
Oh yeah, so tell us about harvesting then. So you talked to us about, before we move on. Wait, tell us about harvesting in a minute. Let's just get through these and let's talk about harvesting afterwards.
Yeah. So basically, what happened, previously in the crypto world, and also happening. It's very popular Chinese term. Say basically harvesting all the chives, because as you can see, from the chart, the candlestick chart, it's basically attracting people to invest. So you can see all those green bars growing like one by one. Looks like a lot of chives growing very healthy, very strong. And at the end of the day, because of because of something, at the end of the day it will drop like so sudden. And we all know what's going on. So that's why basically it's cutting all chives away. So that's why we call it harvesting. So that's some people have harvesting.
So that's the Grim Reaper. That's called the Grim Reaper harvest.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Because it's Halloween. Okay, so now we're going to jump back over and look at the rest of it.
Yeah, that's a very popular Chinese term. Everybody in the Chinese circle, in the Chinese crypto circle, they know about the term harvesting.
About getting harvested.
Okay, so that was where we left off, was the harvesting image. And then next we've got the pumpkins.
The pumpkins, yeah.
Then we've got this amazing drawing of some sort of a wolf.
It's a werewolf.
A werewolf. That's right. Yeah, of course.
Who's eaten all the things.
Yeah. Followed by Bob's Your Uncle? I don't know who that is.
That's Freddy Krueger.
It's Freddy Krueger. That's a good embarrassing moment number one on the show. Not my last embarrassing moment. Where's the turkey one? We don't have a turkey coin in here anywhere, Yuri. And then we've got the ghost in the graveyard.
Yeah.
That's like a game you play as a kid, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Why they put the Bitcoin on a tombstone? I mean, it doesn't make sense.
What it should
He's
have been.
haunting Bitcoin.
No, I think he was trying to say it's a BMX token for the Bitmartyrs. Oh, not very funny. I know. And then we've got some ghosts and bats. I'll move on quickly before Kaimin hangs up on the show on us today.
Yep.
And then some sort of a evil face. Okay.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Park that in your guys' minds, because we're going to come back to that at the end of the show. We're going to vote on what we think is the best one. It may not be the best one according to the Bitmartyr community. I'm sorry, guys. I am calling you guys Bitmartyrs today, and you probably really don't appreciate it. I could have called you Bitmartians, but it's not Space Day, it's Halloween. So, anyway.
Wow.
Why are we actually here? So, Kaimin, actually, before we get too far off track, because it's a silly Halloween episode, we'd like to hear a little bit about what's happening in the world of exchanges. I mean, there's 250 plus exchanges, another one launching every week. Do we need this many exchanges is my first question. And is it justified given the fact that we've seen, fewer ICOs raising money over the last 6 months, and yet we're seeing exchanges popping up left, right, and center? What's the junction we're going to hit where this thing's going to, potentially lead to some exchanges shutting down? Or where are we in the exchange world on that side of things?
Yeah. So certainly, happy to share. So from my aspect, basically, we should starting this from at the very beginning. Say at the very beginning, the people have fancy and also so a lot of zealot jump into crypto. But the thing is, they really don't have a deep understanding of what crypto is. Mm-hmm. But mostly it's basically just because of the FOMO, fear of missing out. So they, people are having, kind of like all in crypto, all in Bitcoin, kind of, stuff coming out. So a lot of people come in without enough domain knowledge. So that's why, the last year's pump or the last year's, fancy was kind of going too crazy. It's not really, it's not like, not really healthy for the ecosystem, but it's actually, trying to, having more people to come down and to see what's exactly the blockchain, the Bitcoin, from academically and theoretically to see what's actually going on. Because if that's never happened before, we won't come down to see the educational and also academical part of the Bitcoin. Right. So so now these days, because as I said, a lot of people are getting harvested, and so finally we come down and working into the more technical and a more litigation side of the crypto world. And so now we do see, a lot of ICOs are, like a spam or, scams. And certainly there's a lot. So that's why, people, since they, they are getting harvested or say, getting cheated. Yeah. So now they finally have some idea on what is, the ICO and what is a good ICO, what is bad. And they can, very calm. They can, understand what's exactly going on. Yeah. So then we come down and talk about the academic and also educational part of the crypto stuff. Right. And then, but somehow, for some reason, a lot of exchanges are up and rising because for several parts. Because first is a lot of people see a crypto exchange as a casino, the place we actually come by and gamble, especially institutionals and personals, or even somewhere in between institutional and the personal, some funds or personal funds, family funds. Mm-hmm. But the thing is, at the end of the day, it won't always be a casino. It has to be, an exchange is supposed to be a very important role in the as educational and also like evangelist to having people, having the traders and having all the everybody, having people to understand what exactly a crypto is. Because a crypto exchange or exchange, it's a portal to spread out all the information and also collecting a lot of projects and the traffics on us. So it's very important for exchange to be a very important say character inside inside the circle. Right. But as you can see, people have a lot of different thoughts on crypto, saying a lot of should be going decentralized. A lot should be going centralized, like DEX versus CEX. It used to be a very still now it's still in a very hot topic people are fighting for. But at the end of the day, what we see, it's is, it should be, should be very balanced. Just like, Chinese yin yang kind of, theory say, each contains on each other. So
the
you
black
keep the
and the
balance.
white and everything has to
Yes.
balance.
Yes. So
there's
DEX
no right or wrong
contains,
answer to a centralized versus a decentralized exchange. They both have a place in this, and there will always be balance because we need both, is what you're saying.
yes, exactly. And also so does, the decentralization to the world again. I mean, no matter what, at the end of the day, we do need a decentralization. But if everything is decentralized, it's not gonna, completely bring benefits to the world. Just like, if it's all centralized. So at the end of the day, it's always the balance for, for our, no matter crypto or the real world, it will be, decentralized and centralized. Not really fighting with each other, it becomes fighting and compromising, fighting, compromising, or again, a guy like Tai Chi, kind of,
Oh, nice. I like that example. So, I mean, are you concerned at all that there's, too many exchanges now and that we're going to see a reduction in those because they've cropped up, as you said, they jumped on the bandwagon, they got excited, but there's just so many now, and I just can't see how that's sustainable.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. So most of the, as I said previously, most of the people open up exchange because they only see one part of exchange, which is, wow, that looks like a very nice casino. I'm gonna, do an exchange and get something. Okay. That's, partially of the motivation. But at the end of the day, the truth is, during our current businesses or also other exchanges as well, since more people came down, so less people actually crazily voting or investing into those ICOs. So a lot of ICOs, they don't actually have a lot of enough fund to invest in on listing and marketing and the PR stuff.
Right.
So that's why a lot of exchanges, I mean, say especially for those very small exchanges, they charge super high, but they can't do anything on the crypto. They can't bring any benefit to the projects. So at the end of the day, they turn out to be, they don't have any like projects actually to be listed. I mean, good projects to be listed because the good projects, they also understand, they also do due diligence on exchanges as well. They will pick their ranking to align with their ecosystem at the end of the day. Mm-hmm. So in that case, the tidal wave will ties out all those small and those exchanges with no criteria for listing.
Right. Yeah.
So at the end of the day.
So I've seen a lot of that, which you and I've spoken about previously, is a lot of exchanges that are charging free or one bit
free listing,
two to get listing, but there's no due diligence process. There's no really criteria for acceptance. And OK Exchange this week announced 50 trade pairs being delisted because they weren't good enough. And those 50 trade pairs are probably going to find their way onto one of those cheap exchanges now, who will
exactly
trade volume. But what you're suggesting is we're actually starting to see a segregation of exchanges by quality, and we're seeing that more now probably than ever before. So either you're a high quality one and you go straight to the mid tier or high end exchanges, or you don't want to spend the money or you don't have the money and you go to a cheap one and then you try to move up if you don't get delisted. That's
exactly.
It's an interesting segregation taking place. I didn't realize it was to that extreme, but it's interesting. So it says there's still room for some of the cheap ones, but obviously not for as many as there are now because it's just too many.
Yeah, but for those in cheap ones or say free listing ones, but the thing is, there's no volume and there's no traffic.
No,
and that's actually only say, okay, I give you a fake listing, and not really fake. Like I give you a listing. It's just like you post something on Facebook, but no one care. It's just like a very small small ones. It's not like say a huge bank is posting something. They have a lot of followers. Yeah. So it's not going to bring any real value to the crypto community.
So let me ask a related question, but something that I think a lot of our listeners would like to understand, and it's something that people talk about all the time. It's called fake volume. So
fake volume. Yeah.
What's Bitmart's position on fake volume, and how do we as users who are looking at exchanges understand the reality? Why are they doing fake volume, and how do we pick an exchange to make sure it's real volume and not fake? I mean, can you just kind of tell us what's happening in the world of the fake volume game that's going on?
Yeah. So what I can share with it's basically it's not really say like a fake volume, But how do you identify if exchanges the volume are fake? Is if you go to the coin market cap, and the coin market cap will tells you of each exchange have a lot of trading pairs.
Mhm.
If some exchanges, I mean the way how I see a lot of exchanges, they trying to put their ranking very high, and because the volume looks very high, is they only have 1 to 2 trading pairs taking 99% of the trading volume.
Yeah.
That because you can see it's basically they play around with market maker or some other third parties and having a lot of bot trades back and forth. So in that case, it looks the volume is huge, but only concentrate on like the BTC USDT or
Right.
I mean, I won't share too much, but
Yeah.
people can figure
so the thing for our listeners to understand is if they want to know whether an exchange seems to have more real volume, the volume should be distributed across multiple trade pairs and not heavily concentrated on one. And they can go to CoinGecko or CoinMarketCap and they can look it up. And
So usually if I exchange, if you put all the trading pairs, the volume into a chart, at the end of the day, it should be looks like a normal distribution. In that case, that's pretty much normal. But by saying why some of the, I mean the whole point of say if we say fake volume, but really not really fake volume. Say at the very beginning, I mean it's been existing in the traditional stock market as well. It's called market maker. So actually, the market maker, they were trying to play within the game. It's totally legal. Like they're trying to join the game and attract the people to trade because if there's no candy, or there's say, I mean the reason why we go to chart, why we go trade, why we go the exchange, why we go to the marketplace, it's because everybody's trying to have some arbitrage, right? So it is kind of necessary have a certified third parties. If it's certified third parties as a market maker to joining and make the to circulate around to make more liquidity, and at the end of the day trying to make the user happy, but not only focus on one or two to make you look good.
Got it. So is arbitrage the only reason why somebody would go to like a bottom tier exchange? Like why not like just have everybody go to like the top 5 exchanges? Why even should somebody look at like a new exchange or a bottom tier exchange?
Usually the bottom tier exchange, they don't have a lot of say a trading volume or say liquidity event happening. For example, I do see some not really exchange. They only play once on the huge pumping on the volume. And somehow they put their rank on like the top 5 on CoinMarketCap. It's only for a screenshot to spread to people, say, hey, you're in the top 5. But on the second day, they basically drop directly out of 100.
Right.
You see what's going on here? Yeah. They're basically trying to just get a screenshot. That's all they wanted. Yeah. But for a crypto exchange who's really trying to be an exchange, they mainly will maintain and having attracted user come and trade day to day. They do a lot of marketing. They do a lot of post marketing. They do a lot of user retention. Of course, we do that as well. And trying to having people constantly come back and trade, and to maintain the positioning around between somewhere between 10 and 20.
Yeah, I mean, so Yuri, one thing I'll say is, for any ICO that I've been advising or engaged with, they all have their ideas about which exchanges they want to be on because they've got preconceived notions. Then they do their ICO and they discover they're not going to get what they want, and they'll end up conceding and going on to whatever other exchanges they can get on. So there's a little bit of a game that goes on the ICO side, which is, oh, okay, well, this exchange approached us and they're going to give us, access and blah, blah, blah for free or for a low fee. So one of the reasons, Yuri, that I've seen that people end up on an exchange is simply because they were part of a community. They already have the tokens from an airdrop, a bounty, from investment, and they don't really have a choice. I mean, I have 25 accounts in crypto, of which I don't use many. Bitmart is fortunately one that I do use. And I'm not.
I don't think so.
You're welcome, but it's because I paid too bad. I told you the reason why was because I was advising a client some time ago, and they ended up on Bitmart. And I said, okay, cool. Yeah. And then because of that, that's how you and I eventually met, and how you ended up now being suckered into our show as one of the Bitmartyrs.
The harvest guy, huh?
Yeah, you're the harvest. Yeah, you're the Grim Reaper harvester. But that's only today, by the way, because after today, we're not going to talk about chives anymore. So on a separate note, so Yuri and I have been working on this project now for almost a year. We haven't done anything. We haven't even done a smart contract or built a coin or anything. But we have this idea of launching the turkey coin. So as long as we're talking to an exchange, Yuri, we may as well pitch our turkey coin and see whether or not Bitmart would list it.
For Thanksgiving? Yeah, we can list it on Thanksgiving.
Perfect.
So we've got about a month, and we'll have to.
We got a month. We're gonna work hard on this. Yeah. So you see, every turkey on the table will have a turkey coin.
Nice. But those are the turkeys we had to burn.
Yeah, we could burn them eventually anyway.
Because clearly, if you've cooked the turkey, you've got to burn the coin, unless you've really burned the turkey.
Exactly.
Right.
We need the oven.
So that does bring up an interesting question then. So in order for us to get listed on your exchange, what's the criteria that you look for in listing projects?
Yes. So since our exchange, our team.
Great team, Yuri. That's clearly one of them, right?
Yeah, exactly. Great teams. We've got that. Check.
Woo.
What's next?
Next.
Yeah. So as you can see, I've been sharing several of our team members with you already. Mm-hmm. So as you can see, most of our team members are computer engineers. So the way how even our coin listing team, they're all computer engineers, and some of them are like other engineers, like mechanical or civil engineers. So the way how we looking through ICO is very logical, and say we won't be biased or attracted by all those like people everybody's talking about this. Oh, we should be follow. But the way how we see it is first we want to make sure the ICO team, or say their team, is technical enough to tell you about all the terms like. Those theoretical terms of what exactly we're doing, and also the cryptos like POW, POS, DPoS, and what's the difference between all those, and where the thing is going through. Mm-hmm. And the second is we will look into their supply, because every of the token have their own story. Basically we are trying, or say every startup project having their own story. This is a problem. And this is our approach. This is how we solve this problem. So we do very logically, walking through this to see if this is a real, thing that brings the real value to the world.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. So currently, the way how we see, to boost up the blockchain ecosystem or the industry is still remaining on three, very important parts. It's basically exactly the same as the internet era just started at the very beginning, like say 20, 30 years ago. It's still computation power, transaction speed and security, storage and security. It's mostly based on the 3 points. So the way how we see all those, mainnet or say public chain or private chain, or those, dApps, which is rely on the public chains, will be mostly, concentrate on these three, because all those barriers are basically pulling back the going forward of the crypto world, the blockchain space. Okay. So if we are able to assist or say push all those actually value bringing projects to the public, to the eyes, and people have bringing consensus on those good ones. That's those projects we'll mainly try to push regarding our PR and marketing channels. And another, criteria we'll look is how actively, their user group and how other people basically talking about their, tokens, or say, in a very technical way.
So the positive and negative sentiment, for example.
Yes. But the thing is, we do want to look at their, GitHub code, because, our listening team, as I said, is mostly the engineers. They know how to briefly read for, simple coding review on their, code, GitHub or GitLab links. we are looking through all their code, and we have a basic idea, see how frequent they update, how many people actually start them as project to keep an eye on. Because if you're going to those like Reddit or other people blah kind of social networks.
Yeah.
You do get some information from there, but it's mainly very emotionally, but not very logically.
Right.
But some of those are. But I'm not saying like all of those are not, but some of those are.
Right.
So yeah, exactly. So that's one of the criteria to take a look as well, the buzz feed and how people actually talk about it, and also the actual code. And finally, we will talk to the team itself, especially the founder and co-founder. We do see the people, because sometimes the technical takes like around 20% of the success rate. Mm-hmm. The human, or say the startup people, the team members probably take like a 30-40%, and the rest that goes to luck. And it really depends on luck.
Sure.
So yeah. So
that's the harvesting part.
Yeah, it's really regarding the harvest part. So yeah, if you for anything to try to get a success, if you're familiar with one of the ancient Chinese wisdom, say there are three key factors of anything to be success. One is the location, one is the timing, one is the people. So that's the three part try to have a thing to be successful. So we mainly we're looking into three of those things.
So success in the Chinese culture is defined by timing, location, and people.
Yeah, I'm not sure if the people is the correct term of saying this.
Okay.
Basically, so the location meaning, or let's say this way, positioning. If you on the right positioning, not location.
Okay.
Yeah.
The timing and how it's positioned.
Timing means
community maybe.
Yeah, timing is the what stack you're in, and if it's the right timing to put the thing to bring the value to the world.
Yes. Yeah.
And lastly, it's yes, it's including community and team collaboration and how everything working together. That's kind of like a Byzantine general problem, right? Everybody have to attack at the same time.
So shifting gears a little bit here. So the market now, I think we're at the stage where we know what exchanges can do, but where are the exchanges going? Where is Bitmart going, and where are the exchanges going in terms of security tokens, in terms of stable coins, in terms of new services? Because clearly we can't just all have an exchange where you just trade and you get an account that says value.
Exactly.
Everybody has that. There's got to be something else. So where's the market
to differentiate? Yes.
Yeah. Where is it going generally, and what's the differentiation that we should be looking for over the next 12 to 18 months, for example, or the next couple of years?
Yeah, exactly. I think 12 months is very enough period for changing, because they're saying
different in 12 months, right?
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Because the crypto world is basically like information boom. It's like everything happens here today. It's like a year happening in human society. Anyways, please saying that. So from our standpoint of view, and also we talk to other exchanges as well.
Sure.
Like if everybody is basically just doing trading and pulling people or say pulling users or stabbing on other exchanges, that's not something we really want to do. It's not the other exchanges, they don't want to do this as well. Like I've been talking to a lot of exchanges, and everybody basically have thinking of creating exchange alliance to having those to be united together. And because exchange is not just a place where people come and trade and arbitrage, it's supposed to be a place, a channel, a port to spread out the consensus and to basically wipe off those irrelevant or say noise.
Could you imagine integrating with other exchanges so that you create a level playing field in terms of the prices for coins, so that there's like a synchronized order book or something like that? Could that happen? Something
similar to that. It has to be some like say circularized API for order book system, and also the matching system, partially of the matching system as well.
So that could happen.
Yes, that could happen. And also at the end of the day, I believe all those Yes, that could happen. I mean, technically it could happen, but it really depends on if all exchanges are agree with a kind of alliance and things.
Sure.
But definitely we agree with we should join one of the join that circle alliance if others approaching to us. I mean, I wouldn't say the name at this moment, but we do definitely we are talking to some of the exchanges and forming a very deep partnership to bring the value to the world.
Yeah.
Secondly is academical educational stuff, because it's a port. A port meaning people come and buy, they see the traffic. There's traffic coming in, they see the content. So it's important for exchanges like Binance. They have academic.binance.com. For B also have their educational channel, and so several other channels as well. And for us, we are also doing edu.bitmart.com. It will be
cool.
I'm composing a blockchain knowledge, structural knowledge for the users. So it will be mostly talking about somewhere between technical and business terms and also financial terms in between, sitting in between there. It's not too. I'm making sure it's not way too technical, so people won't be able to understand.
Fantastic.
To talk about how the ecosystem was built at the very beginning without crypto, and how the traditional works, and how the blockchain, the SHA-256, and also how those cryptography thing coming in, and how the first genesis by Satoshi, the genesis theory by Satoshi coming out, and how that it becomes now till today, and how does the POW become the POS and the DPoS, and also a lot of consensus algorithm coming out lately, and then we will have a structural knowledge graph for that, so everybody can have some sense on what's exactly going on. Because the way how I see the previous frenzy, it's because of people are lack of place, or say they have a barrier to collect enough structural information to fully understand how crypto is. All they're getting is say segmented pieces of information, but that will lead a incomplete knowledge of understanding. So you see, that's why human beings need a consensus, to have a consensus on a series of stuff that which will leading our understanding is logical enough to align with one line. And
what about this, like the security tokens? I mean, we're seeing a lot of that in the market, people talking about it, but
yes, that's something So yes. So let me talk to you about the stable coin first.
Sure.
Okay, yeah. Because stable coin and STO are actually two things going forward. Especially the Americans, American exchanges and also Chinese exchanges are really looking into stable coin, because it will be, theoretically, it will, because of the Tether and other stuff, it will be theoretically a 1.1 ratio anchoring with US dollars. So there's a lot of people, because they see the risk, they see the pump and drop, so they want this thing to be stable.
So why do we need so many different stable coins, though? Why not just have, one for the dollar, one for the euro?
It's hard.
Yeah.
You see, that's the art of decentralization and centralization. If everyone goes to one coin on the stable coin, that's centralization. But if we're going,
okay, so you're saying we could have 5 USD coins, and we could have 3 or 4 euro coins, and a couple of ruble coins, and a couple of rupee coins, and whatever, and that would be a logical direction to go, so that we have the choice of a variety of stable coins for each currency that exists out there.
Yes. So if you see a stable coin as a payment gateway, it actually makes more sense. For example, like in European, or say in like they have a SEPA kind of wire transfer protocol. Yes, wire transfer protocol, and also other protocols existing. But for us, the money inside that is basically just like a stable coin as a credit, and then the credit will send to other.
Okay.
And, yeah. And also in China, like they have Alipay, they have WeChat, but the money you deposit in, it's basically become a credit, a stable coin at the end of the day. And transfer in
But we still need a mechanism to convert each of these stable coins back to fiat, or would it be
exactly.
that you could just use your credit card or a debit card and just pay directly with the stable coins in the future?
Yes. That's actually will be happening, and the way how stablecoin structured is basically based on trust account.
Okay.
Yeah, if you're qualified to release or say to publish your own stable coin, you must need a stable. I don't know. You must need a trust license.
Right.
Otherwise,
okay.
it's illegal. Yeah. So that's something we could share. Yeah.
So in this particular discussion around stablecoins, would you imagine that the other Bitmart or other exchanges will start to provide more credit or debit card type services so that you can actually go out and spend, for example, if I sold Bitcoin and I ended up with, $10,000 in USD Tether or Gemini USD or Circle dollars or whatever, would I be able to, at some point in the future, use a debit card off of the exchange and just spend it directly? Is that something that might happen?
It's a very nice idea, but actually, for the risk, it's very huge because the people know. Yeah, yes, it is. First, you need a license, and secondly, you probably couldn't working with Visa or Master if the exchange is big enough. So basically, you can put your exchange credit card or exchange debit card. Basically, in that case, exchange is kind of like a banking license.
Right.
Or like FDIC license, because basically you're storing the money for users.
Right. Oh,
yeah.
right.
So for that you need a lot of a license to do this. But it's a very nice thought. But I feel like it's gonna be quite hard. And secondly, you need to bypass a more restricted AML and KYC for customer.
Yeah, but you said 12 months in crypto is like a lifetime. So so by the end of 2019, if we have this chat again, we might well be in a different universe.
We might.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, we might. But I do see it's coming because currently, as you can see, a lot of because a lot of people are holders. So you see a lot of derivatives coming out, like interesting interest products coming out. Say, hey, if you're a holder, you put your crypto on my platform. I give you interest every week. It's like a saving for that.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
So I do see it's going through the derivatives of financial products. So at the end of the day, those things will become securitized and become financial product. So that brings us to the STO topic.
Cool. Okay.
So it is happening. I know, based on our due diligence, we know there's a lot of STO going in the European, and also we will be welcoming all those good and legalized STO coming to not just us, but I do believe other exchanges, they also have preparation for STO coming in as well, because STO has a more higher barrier or say higher ladders to climb before you launch it compared with ICO. Right? So in that case, it will wipe off more scams. So in that case, STO will be more, I would say it probably will be a better place to invest or to view it as a financial product.
But that's going to require a lot more regulation. Like, for example, you'd have And I mean, what I've seen with security tokens is oftentimes they're restricted to verified investors who have, a certain level of income, and they're not traded in the same way because you have to hold them typically for 1 year or 2 years before you can trade them. So how does that sort of disrupt or hurt the crypto market for the exchanges if you have these STOs and they're just sitting there and no one can trade with them?
It won't happen like that, because previously the ICO, not so many institutional, or say no matter small or big, not so many institutional really going in, because they do see the risk and instability of ICO projects. Right. But since STO has more stability, and also it's more legalized, and plus you probably need to have enough license to launch STO, otherwise it's illegal. So I do believe more and more educated and knowledgeable individual and institutions will coming into this and do the trading, and so do the financial, to view it as a financial product. At the very beginning of this year, which is 2018, I do heard, from several of my venture capital friends in China, saying a lot of venture capitals are trying in China. And also PE, some of my friends, from the area, they're saying they really want to get into it, but they don't see the angle. They don't see the direction where is ICO is going, or say how the crypto is going. But I think with a legalized crypto financial products coming out, it will actually give it a better channel, or say a better approach to the crypto world.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Cool. Yuri, is there anything else you want to ask while we've got it here before we pop back to the drawings?
Right. Yeah. Well, the last thing I want, if you could chat a little bit about, is the actual security of exchanges. I know that we're hearing a lot about just like, again, oftentimes it's more of like the bottom tier exchanges, but getting hacked and suddenly all of their contents get stolen. What are some changes do you see on the market on security around exchanges happening for the future?
Yes. So I do see, also my friends exchange. I do see a lot of hackers actually trying to do DDoS to those exchanges, and they are trying to basically like a gray hat hackers. They take your service down, asking you for money, but there a lot of tools available for those anti-DDoS and also firewall to prevent you from all those attacks from those hackers, no matter it's a black hat or gray hat. So what I suggest, or say what I do see is, for exchanges, because if your user's money gets stolen, you're basically, bankrupt is a small thing. The bad thing is, your reputation is totally messed up, and everybody in the world will, basically blame on you and hate you, right? So, firewall is very necessary, and also those anti-DDoS third-party services very necessary, and working with white hat agency or organizations, it's also very necessary to pay them for bounty, like those bounty white hats. I mean, we have we basically have several white hats. They asking for bounty, say like $1,000, $2,000. Say, hey, I found you a bug, and we basically would pay for them. Sometimes it's a BMX, which is our platform, a token. Right. Sometimes it's US dollar. Yeah.
Okay, so you are getting people. So you're getting people coming to you saying, "Hey, I found some bugs," and then you give them a bounty.
So they basically saying, "Hey, I found your bug, and here's the bug, and I have solution for you. So if you give me some bounty, I'll let's work this out." Oh,
nice. Okay, and then you've got all the rest of them who are basically trying to do ransom and say, "I'm taking your system down unless you pay me."
Right. That's hacker. That's hacker.
That's but it is blackmail. Yeah.
Blackmail. Right.
Yeah. Okay. So for those very legitimate white hats, they will tell you what the problem is and tell you, but you probably don't know the solution. So I would recommend everybody working nicely with the white hats, because they really prevent you from the risks. And what's the other point I'm trying to say? Yeah, and also the CTO of exchange should be legit enough, knowledgeable enough to fight with those hackers.
So I guess what you want to let people know is that if they want to do some legitimate white hacking and have a look at your website, then by all means find defects, let Kaimin and the team know, and you'll be happy to give them a small bounty for it, because it's for the good of the crypto community. Certainly,
we do want every exchange to be very very secure, because it's a lot of people's money in it. We want we want this to be on a playground, not like a graveyard, right?
Right. Well, we prefer the treat over the trick in this case, right?
Yeah. Not seeing so many tombstones.
And speaking of which, let's take this right back to where we started. Yeah. So we're going to go right back to the beginning over here. Here's the 10 images, and we're going to vote on these with a simple thumbs up or down, and let's get this down to the one that we all vote together. What do you guys think? Should we do that? I pick the one we like the most, and then we can announce a shout out on Twitter to the user name once we've got the name later on.
Sure.
All right, so here's the first one. Anybody voted for this one?
Wait, are we just allowed one vote per 10 of them?
We got to, okay, let's 3 votes to start, and we'll narrow it down to the final 3.
Gotcha, okay.
All right, so anyone to give this one a vote?
I'm giving this one a vote.
All right, so one
vote for me.
One gets a 1. I got to do this like mathematically here. And 2, no votes. All right. And 3? I'll give
I get
one
one
vote.
vote.
All right, so 2 votes for Trump. And then number 4, which is this amazing picture.
Yeah, I give this one.
All right,
Yeah.
so 3 votes for that one.
Oh, yeah.
And then we got number 5, which is the pumpkins. No? Anyone?
No.
Bueller? Okay. And then we got the dire wolf.
Yeah, I give one vote for that one because you see the finger, it points out, it's kind of like I want you, kind of, right?
It beckons you to come.
How many votes did I do already, by the way? Did I do 2?
I think you voted twice, yes.
So this will be my 3rd vote then. So we got Kaimin and I each did 2 votes did a vote on this one, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's correct.
Okay, so we've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there's only 2 votes left, and those are for you, Yuri.
No, I voted twice.
You
I
voted
got
twice?
1 vote left. Yeah.
3,
I voted
4,
for the
5,
first one.
8.
First one, and then
Oh,
for
yeah,
the
we got
Disney.
one more
the
vote
Disney.
left. Okay, so cool.
Yeah.
So
So I've got one more vote.
You get this one
No.
or this one?
I like that one.
The death of Bitcoin is your favorite
The
one,
death of Bitcoin, I'm going to vote for that one.
That's number 8. All right.
I like its theatrics.
All right, so what we've got is number 3 has 2 votes. Number 4 has 3 votes. Well, number 4 has 3 votes. I think we just have ourselves an automatic winner here.
The Disney one was pretty awesome.
So trick or trade.
Yeah.
Okay, so Kaimin, you're going to have to find out who trick or trade was. If it's okay with you guys, we're going to put a tweet out, and we'll mention you guys, Bitmart, and say that our episode today, we've picked the trick or trade image as our favorite on the coin chat in our chat today with Bitmart. And you guys can retweet it out and share it with the particular user because it's a very, very cool image. So for all of us who are watching on YouTube, I hope you enjoyed this part of it. And unfortunately, for those of you who have been listening in, it would all I could say was encourage you to come and check us out on www.youtube.com/C for channel /the coin chat, where of course you can watch this episode and check out these amazing images. And I think what I'll also do is I'll put them up on a Google Drive and put a URL in so that the 10 images are there for everyone to check them out and see. Great. What do you guys think of that?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Perfect.
And I've got nothing to offer people. I've got no candy, no ether to give. I don't know. Are we giving out any BMX tokens to anybody today?
Hey, you know what? Next time, Next time when we are do this kind of events, we should having put the say BMX reward. Let's plan that for later.
Well, we can still stick a BMX reward down as a competition at the bottom of the episode. So if you come up with an episode of a competition you want to run, we can add that into the description down below, and we can
let's do
competitive stuff. So we can take that offline and we can surprise the audience with a trade rather than a trick.
Yeah, exactly.
The ultimate trade. Fantastic. Kaimin, it has been an absolute pleasure having you on the show today. This is so cool to actually have an exchange here. Tell us about what's happening and where it's going. And thank you very much for your time today.
My pleasure as well. Thank you, guys.
We've got a shot at getting the Turkey coin listed. We've got 1 month. Team looks good. Market sentiment is positive. We just got to figure out what the hell the coin is doing so that the team can go do their technical review on GitHub. So we need something.
Exactly.
Here it is a year later. We're actually talking about something. No, maybe not. But
you never know. We need a CTO, so we'll find a CTO.
Well, thank you everybody for listening and watching today. Don't forget to subscribe and like us on the way out to the moon. Until next time.